exotic vegetables in hydroponics. He has successfully cultivated different exotic vegetables like lettuce, pak choi, basil, kale, etc. in hydroponics and develop commercial hydroponics farm as well. Now, I would like to invite our guest speaker, Dr. Dinesh Gaikwad, sir, to share his experience and deliver lecture on hydroponics, the innovative farming technique for future agriculture. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jagdish. Thank you for the brief introduction of mine. So first of all, I want to thanks that you invited me on this platform. So I hope I will share, means whatever my experience I will share, it will be helpful to your faculty as well. So thank you, and thank you, Professor Dhar, for giving me this opportunity to share my valuable experience here. So without wasting much time, let me share my screen. We are having only 12 or many more they will join, or only this much faculty will be there. How many means estimated capacity? I can see only 12. If more members can join, so we can wait for 2 minutes for them. Otherwise, we can continue.
No, sir, you will continue, sir.
Yeah.
Just continue. Maybe they have joined as participants. They may not be knowing that they have to join as panelists. That's why they are not visible on the screen.
Okay. Thanks for the clarifications. Yeah, thank you. So let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Today, we'll be discussing on the topic hydroponics, which is one of the innovative farming technology we are saying, and that is for future agriculture. So most of us, we know what is hydroponics actually. So hydroponics, generally, we are saying it is a technique of growing the plants without soil or using the nutrient medium. So definition we know very much, very well actually. So everybody is saying it is a very new technology. But if you go to the past, actually, you will find it is not a new technology. Okay, so it is a very old techniques. You can see the two images I am showing you on the screen. So first one is a Hanging Gardens of Babylon. It is a one of the seventh wonder of the ancient world. Okay, so at that time, it is somewhere in the Iraq actually, which is full of desert. And at that time, the queen of that kingdom wanted to see some greenery around her. So to fulfill the wishes of her queen, the king of that time, he built one garden which was without soil, or you can see on the walls he just grow the plants. So techniques is technology may be new, but technique is very old. We can say it is a very old technique. Essentially, we are means technology we are improving, but technique is very old. So another pictures we can see the floating gardens of Aztecs. Aztecs actually one of the tribal community. So in the Mexico. So this tribal community, they were very rapid or roughly treated by their neighbors, and simply the rurals of that at that time, they simply denied some even piece of arable land to this tribal community or tribal peoples. But these tribals were very smart, and they were engineers in the mind. They were tremendous thinkers. What they start once if they are not having any land to live, so what they did, they constructed some structure with help of bamboo, and they started living on the ponds. So problem of living is sorted. They started living just using the bamboo structures. They started living on the ponds. Now, what about the food? So again, similar structures they made, and they started growing their own vegetables on the ponds itself. So it is also one of the technique of growing the plants without soil. So this is the technique, way old technique. Just when we are talking, this is a old references you will go when you will dig into the past. But when we are talking about the India, in India, it is firstly introduced in the 1946 when in one of the research center in the Kalimpong, actually. It was a first research trial on hydroponics was conducted in the India in 1946. So before that, this gentleman, William Garrick, he published a series of articles between 1920 to 1930. So at that time, this technology got popularized, actually. So by 1920 to 1930, globally, it got popular. And in India, it is the first commercial or the first research trial was conducted in the Darjeeling in the 1946. This is all about the history. So everybody's talking about why hydroponics, why we should go for hydroponics. So there are several problems that we need to address. First one is a very common problem we know, that is increased populations. We know we are increasing day by day, and it is estimated that by 2015 we are expected to reach 9.8 billions. It is a huge amount. So to feed this 9.8 billion population, how we can grow their food? That is one of the challenge in front of us, or in front of this future agriculture. So we have tried everything. We have in most of the crops we have seen whatever the maximum capacity is already reached by application of excessive fertilizers, excessive pesticides, even all genetic modifications, everything is done at present. And it has been proven that all these modifications or excess fertilizers, highest dose, or which is not enough to grow the sufficient food, or which is not enough to grow the more high yielding, what we can say, higher yield, which is not sufficient. So what can be done in such cases? Only what we can see, what is a visible option we can see is the expansion of land. Only land can be expanded. That is the only options we can see, because genetically now we cannot go anymore. Already it is reached to its ceiling. We cannot further increase the things. Fertilizer applications, already we have several times we are giving the higher dose. If you apply more fertilizers, it is affecting again your soils and all, it is deteriorating your soil, everything. So highest application of chemicals, fertilizers, which is not enough. We have to go for the expansion of land. So again, question comes, where is that arable land? It is estimated that again by United Nations in 2017, it is estimated that we may lose almost 50% of arable land by 2050. Almost 50% of arable land. We are simply losing, because whatever land we are having, which is not productive. You know, and all these statistics is saying, okay, everything, if you'll Google it, all the facts will come in front of you that the whatever land is there, which is not enough. Even we are losing the quality of the arable land. Another one most important problem with in front of us is urbanization. Whatever urban means, whatever populations we are, you can see the graph I have mentioned here. This is India. In 2011, almost 31.28% people were living in the urban area. But see the change in last 10 years. Almost 36% people at present, up to last year, they are staying in the cities or in the urban areas. And if you think globally, almost 68% people are expected to live in the urban areas. So how to fulfill the demand of the food requirement of this huge amount of population, which is staying in the urban areas. Another one is freshwater resources. We don't have enough freshwater resources. Out of whatever limited source of water we are having, out of that, almost we are diverting 85% of water to the agriculture. India, when we are particularly talking about the India, globally it is around 70%. But as we are more worried about we are talking about the Indian scenario, almost 85% water, fresh water, which is diverted to the this agriculture. It is, everybody knows that it is mainly because of the unsustainable irrigation practices that we are following. So we are losing the whatever freshwater resources are there. Simply, we are losing our freshwater resources. And another one is a climate change. Every year we are facing the impact of this climate change. Sometimes there will be flood, sometimes there will be drought, sometimes there will be cyclone. All these natural calamities, they are affecting our whatever conventional farming or whatever we are doing. Everything is getting affected. Every year, at least one case you will find, either there is a drought, either there is excessive rain, or there is a flood or cyclone. These things are affecting our present agriculture. So these are the few problems I am addressing, and how we'll overcome about this problem that we'll discuss through my talk. So now next, why we should go for the hydroponics. First of all, we are saying in earlier slide, we don't have enough land, whatever land is which is not having a good quality. So here we are not using any type of soils. So problem of soil is now it is out of equation. We cannot consider whatever soil is not productive, all there is no organic carbon, all whatever the problems related to soils. Now all those things, because we are simply eliminating the soil from our this farming. Another one is we are claiming that we can save almost 90% of water through the hydroponics technology. So we can save or we can conserve the water almost 90%. We are claiming. The reason is we are recirculating the nutrient solution or water. In the conventional farming, whatever irrigation we are providing, we know, everybody know, most of the water is through the gravitational forces, it is leaches down, and it will be not available to your plants. So only 1% or even less than 1% water is used by plants. So that gravitational loss will be not here, because whatever we are using, simply we are collecting in the reservoir, same water we are recirculating back to the plants. So water loss is very minimum. That's why we have only 10% water is enough to grow your crops. Again, improved crop nutrition. So here we know in soil, just without any enough, most of the farmers, what they are doing without soil testing, all those things, simply they are applying the fertilizer doses, which may not be required to their crops. So in hydroponics, we know what is the actual requirement of crops. Only that amount we are providing. If you give the more amount, anyhow your plants are going to show the symptoms, toxicity symptoms. If you will give the less amount, anyhow your plants are going to show the deficiency symptoms. So through the hydroponics, we can give the perfect nutrient or nutrition combination to your crops. Next one is no competition with the weed. If you go to the field and if you will discuss with some random farmers, they will say they are facing a lot of problems because of the weeds. Because once you will remove the weeds, again next 15 to 20 days, again weeds, the same problem will be there. And we are paying a lot of money to just eliminate a weed from the field. So here in hydroponics, as we are not using soil, so obviously there will be no weed. So we can save on the weeds, or even plant weeds are generally, they are the competitor to the plants. So there will be no competition of weeds to the plants. Plant will grow healthy. We can save on the what we can say, on the money that we are spending on the labors to remove the weeds. So here problem of weeds will not be there. So whatever produce we are growing, it will be free from the soil-borne diseases. So, but yes, one point I want to mention here, though chances will be there that it may get affected with your water-borne diseases, because it is mainly related to water. So yes, some chances are there. If infection is spread, it is going to this water-borne disease. It may affect your crops. It requires less labor, because if you compare conventional farming, you need a lot of laborers. Here, just one skilled person is enough to manage your entire farm. So labor requirement is very less, and you can grow the crops throughout the year. Okay, by manipulating the environment or the microclimate, you can manipulate, and you can grow your targeted crop year round as per the market demand again. And here we can maximize the space utilization. See, generally in hydroponics, what we are doing, we are growing in vertical way. So in the less space, we are growing more and more plants. Okay, so in the less space, just 3 or 4 layers we are preparing, and the number of plants, obviously, anyhow, I'll show my structures here in the upcoming slides. So how we are growing the crops. So in less area, we can grow the more and more plants. And obviously, as you are giving everything in controlled conditions, so it will give you the higher yield, as well as the quality of your product will be better than the conventional farming. So these are the few reasons why we should go for the hydroponics. So let's come, what are the types that can be followed? So first one is the NFT, which is a very widely used technique of hydroponics, nutrient film techniques. So here, what generally happening? So here you can see the reservoir. From this reservoir, nutrient solution will be lifted and it will be circulated through the one small channel or some airtight channels or some PVC pipes. So through these pipes, this nutrient solution will be passed. So the roots will get exposed to the nutrients and the same water will be again collected back to the reservoir. Again, you have to lift it. So this is a continuous process. You have to keep your pump on and the pump will do his work. Continuously recirculation, lifting up water, excess water, again it is collecting back to the reservoir. This is a mostly or most commonly used type of the hydroponics, that is a nutrient film technique. Another one technique is there, that is a deep water culture. Here you can see the difference. Here water will be stagnant. Unlike the earlier system, in earlier system, water was flowing. Here, water will be stagnant. So here you can see, even in your home, you can start this technique. It is one of the easiest. Simple, you can take some trays or some bucket which is having a deeper, say, I started with 3-liter buckets. Generally, you will get no 3 liters. So using those buckets, I initiated actually the hydroponics without having much exposure. So simple, you can take the buckets or some shallow container, fair, and that can be covered with help of a thermocol or some lead type of things. And there you can prepare the cavities. Here you can fix your plants. But one problem you have to, here you can see the air bubbles are given. Here you have to give the additional source of the air, because as water is stagnant, dissolved oxygen may drops down. So for that, you have to give the additional source of oxygen. In first system, as water is running, so you no need to give the additional source of oxygen. But if your system which is having a stagnant water, then you have to give some aerator. The pump we are using for the aquarium, that pump can be used. It doesn't cost much, hardly 150 rupees. You will get the aquarium pump, and that is enough to keep your roots properly aerated. So this is one type of things, that is a deep water culture. It doesn't cost much actually. Okay, so generally everybody is talking hydroponics is very high cost and it requires, no, it may not require every time. If you are thinking about commercial, yes, it costs more. But if you are thinking about your own hydroponics setup in your balcony or the roof kitchen, it doesn't cost much, less than 10,000. So you can start, you can think of starting the hydroponics from your own home. Third one is a ebb and flow system. So here is the concept like NFT, but nutrient solution will be lifted here, you can say, and only excess water will be collected back to the reservoir. So some water will be remains there in the pipe. So here you can say there is a slope. So because of slopes, sometimes there will be technical failures. There may be some electricity failure. At that time, water may not stay in this pipe. And if you will not correct the whatever problems is happened, technical difficulty, then your plant may die in this NFT. But here, even in case of technical difficulties, some water will be still there in the pipes. So your plants may not die quickly. So this is a one type of solution, that is an ebb and flow system. Here only excess water will be collected back to the reservoir. And another one is aeroponic systems. So you can see the difference. In all three systems, roots are directly coming in contact with the nutrient solutions. But here you can see the image. Roots are not directly touching to the nutrient solutions. What is happening here? Some motor is fixed here, or some sprinkler type of things are fixed here. So simply it will sprinkle this nutrient solution on the roots, and that nutrient is enough for the plants to grow. Okay, so here roots are only suspended in the air, only some sprinkles at the say 30 seconds interval or 1 minute interval. Simply roots will be sprayed with the nutrient solutions. So that is the aeroponic systems. Roots will be air. It will be suspended in the air. So that's why it is aeroponics. So these are the few. And whatever systems we have seen, this is mainly used for the leafy vegetables crops. But if you want to go for the fruiting crops or flowering crops, for that you have to use the different systems. That is a Dutch bucket system, you can see. Here you have to give the more space for your roots to grow. Okay, earlier there is very less space, so vegetables can be grown in this less space. But if you are thinking about to grow capsicum or cucumber or cherry tomato, you have to give some more space to your roots. Okay, so here the Dutch bucket system. These are the different capacity buckets you will get in the market. So here inlet is fixed, you can see, and through inlets some drippers will be fixed on the tops. Through the drippers, nutrient solution will be added to the buckets, and the excess water from the water, you can see this red now. So from here, whatever excess water will be there, it will be collected back to the reservoirs and it will be collected in the container. So this is the Dutch bucket system. And another one system is nowadays it is gaining popularity, that is grow bag systems. Nowadays, most of the farmers, you can see, they are following this system, that is a grow bag system. Simply, they will collect different sizes grow bag and they will grow their crops. So these systems mainly applicable for the crops which is flowering crops or particularly fruiting crops. For that only this system is used. But in case of leafy, NFT deep water culture is widely used. So these are the few types I am explaining. So let's discuss about the media, because earlier we have said in hydroponics we are not using any type of soils. So sometimes we have to give some alternative to the soils. So what are those alternatives? So it may depend crop wise. So if you are growing for the, so whatever, first you have to target your crops, which crop you are targeting. So every crop is having different response to the different media. So first one is a rock wool. Rock wool, which is a high costly actually, and it is not biodegradable as well. So, but still Western countries, they are going for rock wool. Okay. So rock wool is one of the medium which is used for the hydroponics. If you see the OSS cubes, it is a similar to rock wool, but it is a it is biodegradable. So you can, and even it is cheaper as well. Yeah. So if you, it is similar like a rock wool, similar structure, just, but in rock wool, you may face a problem of water logging. So water logging will not be there in case of OSS cubes. So second one is a coco peat, which is widely used, very easily available. Almost 90% hydroponics growers in India, they are going for the coco peat. Okay, because it is a cheaper, widely used, here easily available. Okay, so coco peat. So my first suggestion is, if anybody is planning to go for hydroponics, they should go for the coco peat. Or some hydroponics can be used. Just to purpose of whatever media we are using, purpose is not to give any nutrient. Purpose is only to give the support to the nutrients, because some plants, they require some support to the roots. Then only they will grow, or they will, growth will be better if they will give the some supports. Okay, so hydroton is another one example that can be used, or the perlite and vermiculite. Okay, so perlite and vermiculite is actually a bit costlier, but you can mix it. You can prepare one more combination of like potting mix. Generally, most of the horticulture people, they have given more information on this, how to prepare potting mix, how it will be helpful. So simply you can prepare the potting mix. In hydroponics, generally you can grow as 3:1:1 ratio. Generally, it is giving the optimum results. Coco peat, you can take a 3 parts, perlite 1 part, and vermiculite 1 part. So if you prepare potting mix in this combination, they are giving the better results in the hydroponics. So these are the few media that can be used in hydroponics. Now it's come the most important parameter that you have to keep in mind, as we are mainly working on the water or nutrients. First thing, if you want to become a successful hydroponics, you have to keep in these 4 things in mind. If you are able to manipulate these things, definitely you are become a successful in hydroponic farming. So first one is a pH of water or nutrient solution. So generally hydroponics, most of the crops, almost all crops, they generally requires slightly acidic conditions. So if you are maintaining the pH between 5.5 to 6.5, most of the crops will grow in this pH. So now why you have to maintain that slightly acidic pH, that we need to think. So this is a nutrient availability chart I have shown in hydroponics pH chart. You can see in the images, different nutrition, essential nutrients I have shown here, and see the range here between 5 to 7.5. Out of that, you can see the think about nitrogen, which is widely available across the ranges. So it is available at pH 5 or it is available at pH 7.5. So there is no worry about nitrogen. But see phosphorus. If your pH is going 5.25, or if your pH is going about 6.25, then that phosphorus will not be available to your plants. If phosphorus is not available, and everybody knows that phosphorus is one of the major nutrients which is required by plants in larger quantities. So if this phosphorus is not available to the plants, obviously plant will show, immediately plant will show the deficiency symptoms, and obviously what are the expected means the quality produce, you will all the deficiency symptoms, everything within 24 hours you'll witness those symptoms on the leaves in case of a deficiency symptoms. Phosphorus, potassium, again it is easily available across the ranges, but you again go for the calcium and magnesium. Again, these are the macronutrients. So if your pH is less than 6, your plants will not get the calcium. If your pH is less than again 6 point say 5.8 or something, again your plants will not able to uptake the nutrients or magnesium. So that's why if you see in this range 5.5 to 6.5, most of the nutrients are available to the plants. So that's the reason we have to keep checking the pH of the nutrient solutions every day. And we have to, accordingly the pH, we have to manipulate the dose, and then you have to think about the addition of the or increase of pH or a decrease of the pH. So pH is very much important parameter in the this hydroponics. That is 5.5 to 6.5. Now let's come to the TDS. That is a total dissolved solids in the hydroponic systems. So total dissolved solid, it is just it will give the idea about how much nutrients are there in your reservoir. So every plant, again, it has been well known that every plant is having some certain requirement of nutrient in different stages. Early stages, plant doesn't require much nutrient, but in flowering stages, it may requirement may be more. So TDS, we have to think about whatever target crop you are planning. So for that, you must know the requirement of nutritional requirement of your crops. Accordingly, you can manipulate the TDS range. If it is having, generally see, if you are using the tap water, already it will be having some TDS, roughly 200, depending on the location. So here, if I use the normal tap water, my TDS reading is showing around roughly 250 ppm. And I don't know what are those 2 ppm, which is a major nutrient there. So first I have to go for the testing. What are the parameters are there in the existing there? Accordingly, and again, suppose my requirement is say 600 ppm and my tap water is already having 250. So I need to think which nutrient is excess there, which nutrition is deficient there. So accordingly, I have to manipulate the dose, and that dose, suppose already enough nitrogen is there in that water, and if I'll give the more nitrogen, it is going to show the excess or toxicity symptoms. So first you should know the water parameters, whatever water parameters you are using, you should know its the quality or the nutrient range. Once you will test it, then you will come to it very easily. You will come to know it. Your water is having how much nutrient, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and all macronutrients. So TDS is one thing. Another one is the temperature of water, which is I feel one of the most neglected factor in this hydroponics farming in India particularly. So just I want to share my one experience. I started working on hydroponics long back, almost 2016. From there I have started. So initially I was also beginner. I was maintaining all the pH, TDS, everything properly, but still my plants were showing some scorching symptoms. Roots of my plants, suddenly they are turning browns. And I was not able to find the reason actually why this is happening. Why my plant, when I am having optimum pH, optimum TDS, everything I have maintained, still my plants are not happy with the combinations. So what can be done? So later, after doing the calculation and everything, then I realized, no. Particularly in the summer, because as we are using the reservoir, all PVC pipes, container, which is plastic, the water, which is going to get heated, or temperature of that nutrient, which is going to increase. And once temperature is increased, again, most of the nutrients, which is the reservoir, it will precipitate out from the tank. And again, those nutrients will be not available. So if you are maintaining the temperature of water between 26 to 28, then most of the nutrients will be again available to your plants. Particularly, it is one of the toughest challenge in the summer season to cool down this temperature or the temperature of the reservoir or the nutrients. So you have to think how you can maintain that temperature of the water. Always go for the 26 to 28 degrees Celsius. If you are going, or the temperature of water is more than 28, plants will, doesn't matter how much pH and TDS you are maintaining, your plants are going to show some symptoms. Either it may be scorching or wilting or the browning of the roots. Those symptoms are very common if temperature of the nutrients is going to increase. And last one is oxygen. As I said, oxygen is only required if your system is having a stagnant water. If you are having running water, no need to give additional source of oxygen. But if your system is having stagnant water, then you must give the additional source of oxygen. So these are the few parameters you have to keep in mind while working on the hydroponics. Now, these are the basics. Now, major questions comes in mind. Now, which crops I should target? Should I go with the normal crops? If you go with normal conventional farming, you may not get that much returns. So always in hydroponics, you can say most of the exotic crops are targeted, and even they are getting, means it is even what we can say. It has been proven that if you are growing the exotic in the hydroponics, you are going to miss maximum returns. So why we should go for the exotics? It is mainly because nowadays so many people are health conscious people. They require the limited diet or the nutritious diet. Okay, so exotic vegetables are considered as one of the superfood. And if you see the market, exotic vegetable market in the India, it is increasing day by day. At present, it is 15 to 20%, and even it is increasing per day or per annum. If you are talking about the India, almost at present we are importing the exotic vegetables. 85% of vegetables we are importing. Still, it is restricted to only some good or 5-star restaurants or some say McDonald's, whatever we are using the burger or those things. They are using a just small piece of lettuce, and they are charging a lot for that. Okay, so still it is not coming to everybody. So it is only restricted to the richer family and only the 5-star restaurants. So, and already whatever exotics we are giving, the exotic crops, they will give a lot of demand, lot of money actually, because huge market is there. It is, you can see the lettuce market rate is again very high. You will not get lettuce very easily available. Even you can see the pak choi, lot of demand is there. You will get a lot of money. Even if you go through the ICR website, ICR website is actually a KVK Lucknow. They are claiming that if you, there are some farmers, they have grown the exotics, and they are claiming you will get 1:11.75 benefit cost ratio. Can you imagine? That is, if you are spending 1 rupees, you are getting 11, almost 12 rupees in the returns, and it has been it is there in ICR website. In normal crops, you are getting 1.1:2 in the cereals or in cereals. Generally, what we are doing in the rice, wheat, maize, it is not much. But if you are going the exotics, then your returns are very high. So 1:11.75, it is still there in ICR website. The research or the trials are conducted by the KVK Lucknow. Okay, so this is and you can see exotic, as demand is increasing, so that change you can easily, you can say. Earlier, before 2013, only 10% polyhouse growers were under the cultivation of exotic. But you see, after 2018, you can see almost 75% of population, this polyhouse area, which is shifted towards the exotics. And earlier, whatever those who are growing the these flowers, now they have switched or they have shifted their flowering cultivation to the exotic cultivations. Obviously, demand is higher, market is higher, they will get more money. So obviously, they have shifted towards the exotic farming. So now what crops can be grown? So zucchini is there, pak choy is there. These are the vegetable quick crop, very easily you will get it. Romaine lettuce is there, red cabbage, broccoli is also again gaining popularity. Again, different oak leaf lettuce is there, which is required in the salad. Even lettuce iceberg, kale is there, different type of kale is there, lacinato kale or the red boar kale or the curly kale. This is again showing the good response in the hydroponics. And if you're thinking about the long-term vegetable crops, then asparagus, colored capsicum, cherry tomato, parsley, celery, Chinese cabbage, and even cucumber, basil, oregano, rosemary, leek, fennel. These are the well-established crops in hydroponics. They will give the higher returns. Even in markets, there are so many restaurants, they are asking us, please provide us this product year around, every day. Their demand is more, but we are not able to fulfill their requirements. Lot of demand is there. Just we have to fulfill their requirements. So these are the few target crops I'm showing, okay, which is having a higher demand in the market. So let's come to the costing. Again, it is a rough estimation. This value may change as per the places or the area you are staying. This is just a rough idea I have given. So hydroponics, it means no need to go for the high structures, not necessary. Even you can grow your crops in the shade net as well. Simple shade net, it doesn't cost much. But problem with shade net is you can grow only seasonal crops. You cannot grow, suppose a winter crop in the summer using the shade net. You are going to fail. So shade net, seasonal crops, you can grow, suppose lettuce. In winter, you can grow in open area. Nothing is going to happen to the lettuce. Directly in open area, your lettuce. If you're in your area, suppose winter is 2 months, 3 months prolonged winter is there, you can go for lettuce. No need to go for this high-fi polyhouses. Simply open cultivation, even shade net is enough for the growing lettuce, but that is, you can grow only in the seasons. Or you can go with some open ventilated polyhouse, which is costing these 35 to 40 lakhs. Again, I'm not focusing much on the values because it may change place to place and the requirement, whatever you have. And the next one is a climate control polyhouse, where you can create the microclimate for your plants. And here you can grow your plants year round. Whatever requirement is there, that's what we are having. We are having a cooling pad systems, we are having exhaust, we are having foggers, we are having misters, everything. So if all facilities are there, so we can very easily manipulate the requirement of the crops, and we can provide that microclimate or crops. We can grow our crops in off season as well. Even we are trying to grow the lettuce in the summer as well. So these are the just roughly costing of the hydroponics I am giving here. So success mantra, you must have seen. So many hydroponics growers, they will start with bang, but after 3 years or 4 years, they will fail. Why? What is the reason of those failures? Very common success mantra is, first you have to see what is the need of market. What is the demand actually? What market needs? जो बेचेगा वही सिकंदर, वही जो हम बोलते हैं. If you are able to sell, you are a sikandar. Okay. So first you have to do the proper market analysis. What actually market needs accordingly. Otherwise, suppose in your market, the particular crop which is requirement is not there, and you are targeting that crop, which is required, means there is no intake capacity, means there are no buyers, and you are planning that crops. Obviously, nobody will purchase, though it is highly exotic, but nobody is purchasing your products. Obviously, you will be lost. So first you see what market needs actually. So accordingly needs, first plan earlier on, before going for the setup or planting, you do all this market analysis. Then only you target the crops, whatever is required. Okay. Then next is a preparation of your own nutrients. You can attend so many workshops, webinars. There will be very least talk on the nutrient solutions. Nobody will talk openly on the nutrient topic, because obviously once that nutrition recipe will be reviewed, there will be no secret will be left. So how you learn it? Obviously, you have to learn through your own recipe, because whatever I am telling, it may not be applicable to your systems. It is not a copy paste technology that whatever I am saying, it is a perfect and very just a similar model you can replicate there. It may not be. So you have to keep practicing, you have to develop your own skills, and then you can. So preparation of nutrients, you always in market you can see lot of companies, they are providing the ready-made nutrient solutions. Simply you can see the search Amazon, solution A, solution B. Nobody knows what is solution A. We are using solution A, solution B. What is that? Nobody knows. They will say no, you use solution A this much, solution B this much, that's it. They are charging a lot, when actually you no need to pay this much amount for the ready-made nutrient recipe. Simply you can buy your own stock nutrients, And from there, you can manipulate your nutrient solution as per the need. That you will come to know only after practicing whatever the recipe you are going to prepare. Only you have to develop the skills, and then only you have to practice. So if you are depending on the outsourcing the nutrients, then obviously they are charging a lot for these nutrient solutions. So obviously, which is not a good thing to buying the nutrients from the outside. Again, start with the small pilot projects. If you are initially direct, you are planning about the big, definitely you are going to fail. So first, you start with the pilot, small project. Start from your kitchen, or start from your balcony, start from your roof, and then you can think about the big, because lot of troubleshooting will be required there. There will be some problems that nobody will tell you, that you have to develop through the mistakes or through the learnings. Okay, so always start your hydroponics farm with the small pilot projects, and obviously it need a lot of patience, because as a beginner you are going to face several failures in the hydroponics. You are doing everything right, but till you are not going in the output, so you are going to struggle initially. So you need to lot of patience. And reasons of failure, as I said earlier, generally we are going for the outsourcing of nutrient readily available. Solution A, solution B. Nobody talks about what is there in solution A, solution. Even companies also, they are not talking. So you have to prepare your own recipe. Purchase the water soluble nutrition, whatever is as per the requirement. Nowadays, see, Coromandel is a leading company which is providing the water soluble nutrients. IFCO is providing. Even recently, I had a talk with this one of the company, Multiplex. They are also preparing the water soluble nutrients, which is used in the hydroponics. So these are the few companies you can target, and you can bring the water soluble fertilizers from there, and then you can prepare your own recipe. Don't depend on the some outsourcing. Simply typing Amazon, 2 bottles are there and they are charging 2,000 something or more than that. Okay, so this is the one of the reason of failure. And post-production market search, again, as I said earlier, first you will target the crop after it is reaching to the harvesting stage, and then you will search up a market. At that time you may not get a good market, so you are going to fail in such cases. And building setup by watching YouTube videos. No need to copy paste. It may not, what is working for me, it may not work for me. So try to develop your skills, and then you enter in this field. So these are the few photographs I'm showing what I have done here in the campus. So here you can see the NFT model, and these models, whatever models we are seeing, it is prepared by our own students. We have not outsourced anything from outside. Just we have seen the design from the internet, different structures, and we have prepared our own design, means own structures. Everything we have prepared. Even BSc Agriculture, 4th year students, ALP students, they have prepared these first 2 structures, this NFT and this lettuce frame. The students have prepared. So here I have grown the pak choi. This is actually a high-tech unit we are having. We are having all the facilities here. So here I have grown the lettuce, and this is under trial. Actually, I am working on the phonics as well. So though you will get a very less literature about this. So growing the crops in foam, because we have seen the hydroponics, we have seen the aeroponics. Now, just for again, it is not for commercial purpose. So it is just for experimental purposes. How it is reacting. That's what I am trying, and almost I got 50% success, I can say, in the phonics as well. So here I'm creating the mist with help of mister, and that mist or the whatever form, which is having a very thin particle, nutrient particle. That particles are sticking on the roots, and plants are growing. That's what we are seeing. Plants are even almost 50% plants were good. This is the commercial. We are having a commercial hydroponic fodder farm. So where we are growing almost 400 kg fodder we are producing per day, because we are having our own dairy farm as well. So for our dairy farm, we are having a huge amount of fodder requirement. So we are trying to fulfill that requirement through hydroponic fodder. Particularly, we are targeting the maize fodder. So which is having a one of the, what I can say, least investment. You can see simply bamboo structures are prepared, some trays, hydroponics trays, and the seeds. That's it. And we have to give the water. That's it. No technology, no chemical, nothing. One of the simplest technology that we are using. And this one is aeroponics. Last you can see in aeroponics we are growing the different crops, and again we are getting good response in the aeroponics as well. This is one of the type of this is for student experimental purpose. This is a flat bed NFT systems. So at bottom you can see the reservoir. From the reservoir, one side is the inlet, another side is outlet, and several pipes are there. And we've grown the spinach here. So I see you can see the growth. Growth is even more than the conventional farming. And here I tried mint in the NFT structures. Mint. Generally, this is not an edible mint actually. It is for a medicinal purpose we have brought because we do have one oil extraction unit as well. So just to see how much oil can be extracted using these mints. So for that purpose, I grown this mint here. So it is also responded very well. And recently now I'm developing the commercial. When I practiced after say 7 or 8 years, now I am going for the commercialization. Okay, so here one of the structures I have prepared. Hopefully in next 10 to 15 days we are going for the first planting in the NFT system. That is nearby our campus. It is one of the campus of our university, sub campus of our university, Vijayanagaram. There we are going for the commercial, where we can the structure is having capacity of 4,000 plants in the 192 meter square area. So in that area we are going almost 4,000 plants structure. So this is all about what we are doing, and that's it from my side. So now if you are having any doubts, query, questions, you can ask. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Dinkar,
Yes.
as you mentioned, the floating gardens of Mexico.
Yes.
In India also we have floating gardens. In Srinagar, Kashmir,
Yes.
we have floating gardens in Dal Lake.
Yes. True.
And
True, sir.
we grow vegetables and flowers on those floating gardens.
Yes, that's
So,
true,
rightly said, it's not a new technique,
sir.
but
Technology is new.
yes, the previous improvised but mechanical.
Yeah,
It's
that's
mechanical.
Yeah.
Whereas the floating gardens, they were natural. Taifa grass is used as a substrate, and you grow vegetables and flowers on these floating gardens. And of course, they are seasonal. Depending on the structures, as you mentioned, shade nets, and then naturally ventilated structures and controlled structures. And controlled structures can go for off-season vegetables and flowers, but the scope is limited under shade net and naturally ventilated structures. You can grow only seasonal crops. Yeah. I just was wondering, what is the benefit cost ratio of these vegetables or flowers that you grow under hydroponics?
Yes, good questions. Actually, all these crops we are growing with help of our ALP students, and for them we have to show the benefit cost ratio. Okay, so yes, we are working on the benefit cost ratio. But as students are controlling, as whatever ICR is claiming 1:11, that we didn't got actually, frankly speaking. But 1:8, I'm going up to 1:8. I'm going it. So I'm not up to the 11. That there is no shame to admit, but I'm going as to 1:8 through the exotics, obviously. Yeah. For exotics, I'm going up to 8. Yeah.
Towards the exotics means those crops which we were not growing in our area, but you can grow it under our own agroclimatic conditions. But since they were not available or not being cultivated, so looking at the other countries, we say that these are the exotics. But we have grown broccoli, Brussels sprout, kale in Jammu and Kashmir. I belong to that place. So under natural conditions.
Yeah.
not under shade net, not under shade net, under natural conditions, and they performed well. So it's just the, let us consider that we are not having these seeds or crops being cultivated. So since now they are available, you can cultivate it. You can cultivate them in the open conditions as well as under shade net.
That's why in open conditions we can only go for the seasonal.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So if you want to go for the year-round, that's why I said third category. That is my controlled conditions.
But in that condition, we have to consider the benefit-cost ratio.
Yeah,
You
obviously.
cannot go for commercialization of such crops. You see, it should be the vegetable and flower should be affordable by the common people.
That's the one of the challenge we are facing. Whatever we are growing, how to convince the farmer.
The pak choy should be enjoyed by the common man also.
Yeah, that is one of the challenge in front of us, to transfer this technology towards the rural people, because it is only restricted to some families.
Yes.
That's what. So this is one of the, and we are convincing through the different Kisan Melas, and we are conducting the events as well. Even we are calling the nearby peoples. Yes, instead of growing this normal conventional farmings, if you want more returns, please switch your farm, at least some part of farm. You just practice and see. If you are okay, then you can continue. That's our next target.
Now we are just
transfer this technology towards the farm.
We are just thinking of installing this hydroponics in our farm for as a module for final year students, because they have experiential learning program, hands-on training in their 8th semester. We just wanted to introduce this hydroponics. So we will be in contact with you, and I hope you will be very helpful to us.
It's my pleasure, sir.
So any other faculty who wishes to ask something or clear their doubts, please. Anyone from the faculty? Yes, if you have any questions. No one? Okay, Dr. Suhas Mane, do the.
Okay. It is very informative session because it is very structured and easy to understand. Hydroponics is a very new concept of the cultivation of the crop in Ispan land in a modern agriculture. Your presentation gave the new perspective to our all faculty members regarding hydroponics, and I hope all the faculty members would have learned a lot from it. I think after the presentation, faculty of our institute will be definitely thinks to introduce a new module for the student in the 8th semester. Now, so as we come to the end session, I would like to invite Dr. Suhas Mane sir, Assistant Professor, Sri Institute of Agriculture, to propose word of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Jagdish. Very first, I would like to thank from my bottom of heart, respected Dr. Dinkar Gaikwad sir, who have spared time and enriched us with lot of innovative information and experience based on his own research activities at MS Swaminathan School of Agriculture, Centurion University, Odisha. We would like to visit and see by our own eyes these different technologies he has practically started at his institute. Have assurance that definitely today increased our insights as we got a lot of useful information and many innovations, such as personally I think fog ponics I have heard first time. So such kind of innovative ideas are very important to be known by us. As we are an academician, we should always inform our students about such kind of innovative ideas. And from that angle, I think this FDP, especially today's session, is having great importance. On behalf of all the participants, as well as our institute, School of Agriculture, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Agriculture, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, as well as on behalf of all our students, faculties, our coordinator, sir, Dean, sir, I once again express my sense of gratitude to today's guest, respected Dinkar Gaikwad, sir. I also thankful to respected Dean Dr. K. Guru Prasad, sir, respected coordinator Dr. Vinod Dhar, sir, and coordinator of this FDP program, as well as all my faculties for being part of this session. With this, I can say that today's session is concluded. Be in contact with each other in future also. As Dhar sir has rightly said that Dr. Dinkar Gaikwad sir will help us in future also for moving up these efforts in practical way. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to all. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Dr. Dinkar. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
thank you, Dr. Mane. Actually,
it was nice having you on the session. Thank you,
sir. Thank you, and thank you, Dr. Mane. All the and even Professor there, everybody is welcome here because now this is the winter is coming, and even we can show you all these exotic.
Yes.
That's what we are actually planning. Already planning is going on. So when everybody is talking, no, everybody may not afford the control conditions. So next target is growing the lettuce. Now winter is coming, but the problem is here. We are not having the longer winter. Hardly 15 to 20 days winter we are witnessing. That is one of the challenge here because we are a nearby coastal area.
Yes.
So that is the one challenge, and humidity will be very high. So, but still, it's always good for trying. There is no harm in the trying, no. Either you will get success or failure. Only two things, no. Both are good for us.
One has to try. We
have to try. And as I said, this hydroponics, it is completely new because many eyebrows will be raised. Why he is doing, what is whether he will get successful. So I have not.
Now the people have shifted to vertical farming also.
Yeah. That's why just we are keeping trying whatever is feasible that we can transfer towards the farmers. Otherwise, one more experience will be added.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Dhar, and thank you, Dr. Jagdish, again for the nicely coordinating the event, and thank you all the faculty members as well, which is present over the panel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, can we close this session here?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
आप इसमें दिख नहीं रहे।
क्या हो गया मैडम?